Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jocelyn. I'm the owner of Divine Love Bath Co. in Colorado. Today we are going to be talking about, well, hold up. There are tons of videos out there on the basics of what you need for your market stands, right? So obviously everyone's going to tell you, you need a canopy. If it's going to be a market longer than 4 hours ever, you probably want a chair to sit in. You're going to need tables. You're going to need displays. You're going to need something to handle money, whether it be a cash box or something to like wrap around your waist. You're going to need bags to put your product in. You'll need something to take your payments with. I'm not gonna go over a basics list so much today. Today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna expand into items that are going to be better for your booth. Items that after I have been doing this for a year, that I can tell you make my life substantially easier. And you may wanna consider either adding to your booth right off the bat or adding to your booth down the line after you've done this for a year or two. So let's get into this. I have 12 items that I want to tell you about today. All right, the first item I highly recommend is plant stands. And if you search plant stands on Amazon, also I will link as many as I can below that I have tested myself. I know that a lot of people use crates, but to me, the plant stands, because they fold down and because you can fit so much on them, this is absolutely all that I will use in my booth. Number 2, I recommend adding some greenery to your booth. Again, you want something just really simple, not anything that's too complicated to set up. It already takes an hour and a half to set up a booth at the market. You don't want to add a lot of time. So let me show you what I am adding to my booth for this year, just to put along the table for just a little garland to add a little bit of flair. Number 3, you want to have a banner. At some markets, it's actually required, like you cannot be at that market unless you actually do have a banner with your business name on it. Also, don't spend a ton of money on a banner up front, because you may find that in the second year that you want to change it. You want to use your banner as information to draw the customer in. So what I found and figured out last year, because when other body product people would show up at the market, I would be like, oh, I wonder if they're hand making this themselves or if they are just vending this product. Like, there have been events where, not events I've been to, but events that other vendors have gone to where Mary Kay has been at. I don't know why Mary Kay is at, if that's not a handmade product at all. The vendors might know if that event is handmade only, but the customers won't always know. So for my banner for this year, I added handmade really large on it, took the social media off, because folks would walk into my booth right away and be like, do you make all of this stuff? Or they wouldn't even come in because they assume that I'm just peddling a product for a company. So I really want it to stand out this year that I'm handmade. And so consider that when you're making your banner. And like I said, you may not figure out exactly what you need your banner to be until the second year, but you definitely want your business name. You definitely want something eye-catching that'll bring the customers in. Like, little girls love to come into my booth because they see all the purple. They see me wearing purple, and I'm going to talk about brand color down here on the list. But they see me wearing purple, they see the purple hearts, they see the purple tent, and they want to come in there. So I have the purple hearts on the banner, and you want to make sure that your banner, again, is giving very simple information on stuff that's going to draw the customer in. Number 4 is a canopy with an awning. So typically at markets and pop-ups, you will see people with just the traditional canopy with just the overhead and the 4 legs. A lot of the canopy companies have now come out with canopies that actually have 4-foot awnings that will go out to either side. The reason why I specifically recommend the one with the awnings is if you are selling something that could potentially melt in the sun, like candles are going to melt in the sun, soap is going to melt in the sun. Other products, even if they don't melt, will fade if you set them in the sun for too long, if they have any coloring on them. The only thing that's really safe is if you're selling like a white fabric or you're selling like a light tan fabric or something. That is the only thing that's really going to be safe in the sun. Everything else kind of needs to be protected from it. So if you have a 4-foot awning out in front of your canopy, which shouldn't be an issue at any of the markets because you're just putting that over the area where people are walking. Just make sure that your canopy is going up at least almost 10, like 9-10 feet, so that you can make sure that that awning isn't obstructing anything. And then that should be fine to have out the front to protect any chalk signs that you have, any sidewalk signs that you have, any product that you have outside your booth. Number 5 is a dollar bill reader or a counterfeit reader. I would highly suggest this for every vendor, everybody that's in business taking cash. I would highly recommend one of these. You may want to take an hour and do some research on Amazon to find the best ones. I'm going to show you mine in just a moment, and I'm going to show you how it works. However, there are other ones out on Amazon where you can actually, like mine, you just put the bill in the tray. It highlights the strip that's in the bill so that you can identify that it's real. There are other machines out on the market, and I will link one of them below as well, that you can actually slide the dollar bill through and it will say pass or fail. The thing is that what I've read about those, they only truly work if they're plugged in. If you try to work them on batteries, which a lot of us are depending on to either have a rechargeable device or something that can run off of batteries, then that's not going to work for us. We need something more dependable. The thing that I found about the one that I'm going to recommend is that you do either need to tuck it under like your tablecloth area or get it somewhere out of the sunlight in order to be able to read the bill, but it definitely does work. And so far, knock on wood, I haven't had anything counterfeit come through my business. I did turn away a $100 bill one day because the counterfeit machine, nothing went off on the $100 bill. So I don't know, they went and spent that at another vendor or went and got change at another vendor at least. And I don't know like if I dodged a bullet on that one, but you know, better to be safe than sorry. When you're in a business like this, you just can't afford to be giving away $100 here and there. Number 6. Everybody has a square reader. There is the little $10 one that you have to take a credit card and swipe through it. What I found is that you may have to swipe those sometimes like 5 or 6 times. So in order to save time, you could also order the square contactless reader. With this one, people can really just plop their card down on it and it will read it and take it right away. And by the way that you tell if they have that is if you can see the little 3-level volume indicator on it, then that's how you can tell that they can do that just by laying the card down on the reader. However, even if they don't have that ability, the contact reader, they can still put it in and chip it. I would still have the swipe one. I know it's an extra $10, but I would still have the swipe one every now and then. You get a customer that doesn't have either of those on their credit card. I don't know why. I maybe get a few of those a year, so I keep that so that I can still swipe a card if needed. The second part to this is this little stand that goes with it. So this is called the Boss Tab Dock, and you just fit the square reader in the top. You can still have this space in the back to be able to charge it. And then of course you have the slot in the front for the customer to put their card in if they need to chip their card. This product is weighted down, so it will stay on your checkout stand. There's no chance of it blowing away. If a customer goes to put their card in, it's heavy enough that it's just gonna stay put. They don't have to hold it in place in order to put their card in. It looks really great on the display. It looks really great at your checkout stand. By the way, if you guys have not signed up for Square yet, look below this video and use my link to go into it. If you use that link and when you sign up for Square, you can either get $20 off these products that I'm talking about, or you can get $1,000 in your first free processing fees. The benefit to me is I also get $20 off future hardware or $1,000 in processing fees. So if you guys use my link, thank you so much. That will help me out to get some free processing fees this year. Item number 7 is a custom stamp with your logo on it. If you're going to be using paper bags at the market, not only do you get free advertising, because I will see people take my paper bag and then I will see them walk back and forth in front of my booth a couple of times. That means they have walked around the whole place and maybe somebody has said, hey, what did you get from there? Or hey, where's that vendor at? Or, you know, what does that vendor have? This is free advertising, folks. I will link below some paper bags. They come in all different colors on Amazon. If you do a subscribe and save, you can save a few bucks on them. I'll also go ahead and link the ink that I use below off of Amazon for this product. However, you could also just go to like a Joann's, or I'm sure like Hobby Lobby has choices there as well if you just want to go pick up an ink pad from them. Item number 8. If you are going to be taking anything to the market that is extreme temperature sensitive, my candles are still very temperature sensitive even in the shade. So for those ones, I have a cooler also linked below, and this is the Coleman Extreme. So this one is insulated really well. This cooler is insulated a lot better than all of the others. And then you can just add whatever ice packs that you have laying around the house, or if you want to purchase some new ones, I'll link my favorite ones below. They fold in the middle. It makes them more flexible to be able to use with the coolers. Another great thing about this cooler, it doubles as a chair. Now, because it's black, if it gets in the sun, it's going to be a little bit hot to sit on. So I'm actually going to use my last year banner that I'm not using for anything else anymore and just lay that on top. But that is, I don't actually take a separate chair to my 4 or 5 hour markets. That is my chair. So just a tip on that to save a little bit of room in your car so you don't have to add a chair on top of it. That can be your chair. Number 9 is your branding color. So we talked about this a little bit earlier. I chose purple as my color, and I have added, like this sweatshirt, for example, was only like $30. It's a Champion. I'm actually surprised that I got it for that price. But either way, whether you're gonna put your logo on something or you're gonna have a specific color, if you do that, the branding of that just helps you stand out to customers. You have to think about it this way: when you're gonna go to vend at a market, you are competing against potentially anywhere between 25 to 100 or maybe even 200 other vendors. So why would people want to stop at your booth? You know, and like I said, little girls, they love the purple. Also, another thing that draws people in along with that color is our next item. So number 10 is a chalkboard sign. These can cost you anywhere from around $50 to potentially $80. They are worth it. If you can write, you can put, you can change it from week to week to say maybe what sales you're having, or if you figure out what your best seller is, you can write something on that to draw those customers in. Believe it or not, a lot of people that go to these markets, they are used to stopping and reading the sign. Not all of them. A lot of people that come to markets are just gonna walk in and go right past your booth because maybe they're just there for the baker or something. So they're just gonna run down the aisle, get what they want, and they're right back out. But you have a greater chance of drawing people into your booth if you have this chalkboard sign. Number 11 is tablecloths. Now, I know that would be on your basic list because we all need tablecloths because normal tables are gonna look horrible at your market. But let me go into detail about the different kinds of tablecloths there are and why I recommend the one I'm gonna show you today. I know a lot of people use the tablecloths. I call them like pantyhose tablecloths. Like they stretch and they fit around the table. However, let me tell you that with those, They are a little time consuming to put on your table. And if you have any remotely small kind of back issue, like I don't have a back issue, but when I start doing the markets, it starts to wear down on my back a little bit. And bending down to try to get the table leg in this hole that's only this big in the fabric that's like tucked inside, it is a lot of work. When you are at a market and it already takes an hour and a half to set up, you certainly don't need to be spending 5 extra minutes trying to get these table legs into these cloth elastic things that are tucked deep into the tablecloth. What I recommend instead are these tablecloths. You can actually just slip them right over the table. It is so easy. It takes 2 seconds. To wash them is much better than the other ones. You don't risk getting holes in these. Now, of course, you can get a hole in any fabric, but those other ones, the ones that I call the pantyhose table covers, those ones are actually more susceptible to easily just getting, like pantyhose. Just think about pantyhose, how easy it is to get a rip or a tear in those. Those other tablecloths are more susceptible to getting damage. Whereas these ones that I use, they're nice and thick. They go on easy, they wash easy, they clean up easy. Highly, highly, highly recommend these ones for efficiency. And personally, I think they look better too. The number 12 item and the final item on this list is a wagon, but not just your plain old wagon that you have seen anywhere, but a double-decker wagon. Most of the wagons that you're gonna see at the market are just one level. So you can fit your totes in there, you can fit some bags in there, and you're gonna have to make probably 6 to 7 trips back to your car. With this one, it actually has 2 layers on it. So the bottom layer, you can actually fit your canopy in there. Or you can also fit, you know, those plant stands that I was talking about earlier. Not all of them will fit on the bottom, but some of them are, if you just angle them, they will slide right in the bottom as well. Getting the double-decker wagon is going to cost a little bit more. But again, this is for time efficiency. What you want to do is get your stuff as quickly as you can to your spot and get set up. And if you have the single wagon, like I said, you're making 6 to 7 trips. With the double-decker wagon, I can do everything in 3 trips. All right, so those are the 12 items that I highly recommend. Like I said, everything is listed below for your convenience. If you like my content, please go ahead and like this video. Please also hit that subscribe button so you can come back and see more of my content. I will show you more market content and I'll have a lot more business tip videos. And then while you're at it, if you've made it this far, go ahead and put a candle emoji in the comments below. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks, bye.